Hi, I'm Jordan North, and in today's episode, both I and my wife go Lawrence of Arabia style into the UK's only desert to take photos.
It is recognized that you have a funny sense of fun.
A desert in the United Kingdom, you say? Why yes, oddly specific posh guy. This tiny triangle at the bottom of Kent is technically a desert, just with pebbles and chip-stealing seagulls instead of sand and camels. Look, Google says it is, so it must be true. So on our quest for an amazing clickbait title, Tina and I dove into our film supply drawer in the fridge before setting off on our adventure. Driving, and driving, and driving, and a bit more driving. Look, you're just going to have to believe me, it's a hell of a trek to get there, even in a car, and we don't even live that far away. Until we finally arrived, and before we'd even got to the car park, I found a shot I just sort of had to take. So after parking on the side of the road like an utter mad lad, I jumped out the car and used the last shot on my roll of Polaroid 160 from the night shoot in the last video. So then before we carried on, Tina loaded some Polaroid Color 600 and I loaded another roll of Polaroid 160 as it was a really sunny day. Unlike the experimental night shoot in the last video, this is actually kind of what this film is meant for. And then we started shooting. I know they say Portugal leans more towards blue tones, but my god, even on a really sunny day, in British terms obviously, it would outshine a Smurf in a blue beauty pageant because of its intense blue cast.
My name's Honey
Portrait.
and I'm a beauty queen, bitches! I'm
Blue.
as well and I don't give two shits, girl!
That isn't a knock on it, by the way. Myself, like 99% of other basement-dwelling film shooters, would choose Portrait 400 any day for any daytime shooting. Do you want to show me the shot you just took? Oh yeah, it won't be developed yet, will it? It was in your little pouch, is it? We actually kept having this exposure problem on Tina's camera, which is complete user error, by the way, because we can just never remember which way the switch is supposed to go.
We are taking a photo of Karen. These are very pretty. Anyway.
This ended up being one of my favourite shots of the day. The vibrant blue sky mixed with the American Western style foreground just gets chef's kiss from me every time.
Yeah. Egg junkus.
Wow. As I was still using my old light meter at the time, I had a really hard time battling against the harsh sunlight, so I ended up using my hand as a shield to try and get some form of usable readings, which kind of worked in the end.
This is what I've done.
Overexposed.
Yeah.
And after another messy film change,
Oh yeah.
we carried on. This photo really shows one of the main reasons I love shooting portrait so much. Just look at how well it handles the stupidly harsh sunlight without losing any detail in the shadows.
Cheeky foghorn.
Yeah.
After taking a picture of a hut that I can only assume they used to store James May's cheese supply in so he doesn't overdose.
Cheese versus cheese.
We jumped in the car to head home, and obviously on the way back we stopped at different locations that we'd spotted earlier in the day to take some more shots.
I might actually have to pull over and get a shot back.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have any footage from this one, but all you need to know is, as I took it, an old guy came up to me with his dog to explain all the upgrades he'd made to his motorhome for 20 minutes, while Tina laughed her arse off in the car while I was holding my shorts up the entire time during the chat because I'd undone them on the way home because I was uncomfortable and completely forgotten when I jumped out to get the shot. Now, with that mental image seared into your brain for the rest of your life, that's it. Hope you liked it and all that. Check out my Patreon in the description down below, which is just
£3.
because that's where I'm going to be putting stuff for things like previews for future work and things like that. And also I'm going to be putting some of my work on there for download, also in the forms of maybe like desktop backgrounds, because I've already got one up there, and some other bits and bobs that you might like. So with that all out of the way, if I don't see you...
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.